Hello gamers and welcome back to my Playing Every Division in WARNO adventure. I'm going to look at the two Nemesis 4 DLC divisions next, starting with the second Guards Tamanskaya Motorized Rifle Division. They were defending Moscow against inner and outer foes. And after that we will look at the British forces defending London, which I'm a bit more excited about simply because it's British, and that's why we're going to save that for the next division. This is the fourth division I'm covering, so let's take a look. Some exciting new stuff in there, and Protoss puts both the new divisions quite highly in the December tier list. So cool divisions. We see decent logistics, infantry, also very decent. So last two slots are quite expensive, or a bit expensive. Artillery, okay-ish slots. Tank, okay-ish slots, decent slots. It's like kind of like a mechanized division. Some nice recon slots. Lots of options though, I think. So more options than slots. AA tab, yeah, that's a bit of an issue. Helicopters, not so much. Air Force will be quite exciting, as you will see. Yeah, let's start with some standard stuff. We can always change things around. So we get here the Potok 2, which is a new command vehicle. It cannot fight, and the availability is only 2. So this is something I really don't like. It's only 40 points though, if you compare it to the Chaika, which has less armor, is faster, but also has 3 availability. The BMP-2K is the kind of like fighting option that's already known. Then you get the Snap. Yeah, that's in so many divisions, and that's a new supply vehicle, which looks quite interesting. And yeah, 1,500 uh, per um, per unit, and this is all like the engine, I guess. Here, massive engine to pull like rockets and stuff. Then you get the Gruzhevoy supply helicopter with also 1,500. You get actually 2 cards of these, which is quite nice. Not too much of a price jump actually. Then you get the Belozor as your kind of like your fast option, which is a bit sneakier, I guess, as well. Stealth mediocre, stealth bad. So this is also an interesting option because you also get 3 on the card. You get the Chaika, which is kind of fast and armored, and then you get the Snap. So we definitely need these two, I'd say. Yeah, and this is fast and also a bit durable, so we go for this one. And then we'll see if we take anything else. Infantry tab. Some interesting units here. So there's the military police, and actually with the military police Jeep. I think that's recently been added, or maybe even with the latest patch that they get like a designated MP vehicle. And you get the machine gunners. They are kind of new because it's a guards unit. They are resolute. And a 30 mil with this grenade launcher here. The guards units are also new. The leader sniper rifle, AT rocket, explosives in the smokes basically. Can come in the BTR-80. There are lots of BTR-80s in here, lots of BMP-1 faggots, and also the BMP-2. Personally, I think I prefer the BMP-2 because it can still take out enemy armor, including IFVs, but the autocannon is just so much better against infantry, in my opinion, compared to the tank gun. Or the cheap option here with the BT-80, or the cheapest one with this, which is also quite fast. The BMPs are actually slower, BT-80 is quite fast, and this one is not. It's cheap, but yeah, for 15 points more, you basically get a machine gun unit that's armored, so I think that's, yeah, it depends. Then you get the Skanietsi. They are also like resolute, very politically motivated troops here. They can come in the BMP-2 as well, and then the faggot. Then this is the BTR 80 variant. As you can see, they have 8 health. They only have 7 health. The weapon loadout for the Gatsvezi is also, in my opinion, a bit better with the better anti-tank rockets. The downside is you don't get the BMP too. They've got the same number on the card, and availability drops the same as well. So personally, I actually think this is better as an infantry unit, and early deployment, they are also faster. So let's actually get 2 of these already. Then you get the Gatsvezi SVD with a sniper rifle as well, which is quite nice. 8-man strong can come in the BTR 80 as well. Interesting unit, but we'll see about it. Then you get the Metas, also in the BTR 80. We are definitely going to take these. I just played against a Metas guy and yeah, they can be so annoying. As you can see here, yeah, 6 heat, 17 damage, okay-ish range. Not as good as the designated Concourse, for example, but yeah, still decent. Saperi, I'd go for this one. I think I've heard it's better because it can be used in the same building, no minimum range, but we'll see if we have got the space. Another new unit is the guards pull a Michiki. 7-man strong can come in BMP2, which is quite nice. So I'm actually we will need a leader as well. So which leader are we going to take is the first question. So I want the one, yeah, I think I want the one with the sniper rifle, the AT and the smoke, because I think his survivability will be better. And we are going to bring him. This is faster. And it would be for initial deployment. I'm inclined to bring him in the BTR 80 instead of the BMP2, but the BMP2 can fight a bit better, so let's do that. And another BMP unit we can get is this Pulamichiki. We're going to do that. Also single that. And then we get the ATGM options. Well, basically we get this tank gun, which I think the accuracy is too bad. And then we get 2 options here. Better range with the Concourse, worse availability, more yeah, well, slightly worse. In the BTR 80 it's quite fast. Let's go for them. And then we actually have these slots to go for a Saperi, which is nice. Single vetted. You go to the other BTR 80 units, and we have 2 BMP2 units only. Could we get a BMP2 anywhere? Commandatura, obviously quite nice. Because, well, this one has security, which means they get increased optics when they are stationary, which is cool. And they also give a suppression regeneration bonus, let alone removing the reservist rate, but we don't have any reservists. But that's an option. HMGs are an option. We've got kind of 2 ATGM troops. So I think we're going to go for the BMP2 option here with the guards. Also, it's a new unit, so I can bring 4 cards of Gatsvezi Komroti. That's like a lot. So I've got 3 BMP2 cards basically. Yeah, I think that's fine. So we've got some faster units, we've got some slower units in BMP2s. I think that should be okay. Here, I'm inclined to not go for the Grad because we don't have that much ammunition. Just the more accurate Acacia. Let's just take 1, unvetted. Veterancy would bring the reload time down, but we can maybe use one of the leaders to beef them up. And then I'm going to go for these guys for smoke in the machine gun variant, and we can also move them around if need be. And if I find the time to micro it. In the tank depth, we get the Concourse here. We get the Rapira, which can be really annoying, I think. Then the T-72K. Problem here is it doesn't have smoke. when you compare it to the T64 here. T64 actually also has better armor, the better gun. It's obviously also more expensive, but I think it's worth it on the leader. These are our only 2 leader tank options. Let's go for this one. Then we've got more tank options down here. We've got the T72B1 Aubrey 74, which is another new unit. It also has smoke, but when we compare it to the T64B, it doesn't have the anti-tank missile. And the gun has less range actually, but more ammunition. 2 armor is quite a bit though. Accuracy is actually better on the newer one as well, if I single vet them both. Yeah, 65% accuracy makes up for the reduced armor, I think. So let's take 2 of these. And then there's another new unit. You get 2 cards. That's like a high-tech tank with 21 frontal armor, 21 penetration, and the new 25 penetration anti-tank missile. 2,800 meter range. That's totally insane. I think it's a bit costly. 345 points for 1v1. Bring 2 of them, both cards unvetted. Then with a leader in multiplayer matches on a large map, large open map can be really cool. But you need to, pretty much like in SD2 with the King Tigers and IS2s, you need to support them so much. And I think it's just worth. I won't have the points for that. This unit you must not lose, just micro it. Let's take 1, because I'm building with 1v1 in mind now for this series. And we can take more tanks. We take. I think this is the vet curve here is actually quite nice. Look at that. We only lose 1 tank. I think we do that. Here we would lose 1 only as well. Let's actually do that. And then let's take the Concourse or the Rapira. The Rapira has 2,800 meter range, even better. Tank gun as well, which means it can fight against the infantry a bit. At least availability is pretty much the same. Let's not upgrade it. 60% is good enough for me. Let's take the Rapira for the flanks, maybe. Concourse, interesting option, but we've got the T64Bs and the BMP2s, so it should be fine, I think. Wreck, also really interesting. You get the first, I think it's the first vehicle with SIGINT, like road vehicle. I need to learn how to use it, so let's take it. Then we get the Razvedka Saperi, which is cool because it's 8 man, or 8 strength as well, but doesn't have AT. And then we get the motorized Razvedka. Lots of interesting options here, including rocket planes, which we might use actually. Razvedka BMP2, also BMP1, also nothing to sneeze about. We get the BRD M1. It's just machine guns, which is a bit not great. The BRM1 is a tank gun, which I personally don't like that much either. I prefer autocannons. This can't even deal with IFVs really, so not so great. And then we get a new unit. I think it's a new unit. No, it's not quite new, but it's, specialized units, Spetsrazvedka with GSR. So they get +1 optics when they're stationary. Goes up to exceptional. This is obviously quite good. I'm not going to upgrade them. They're 8 men strong, quite beefy. They have AT, they have sniper rifle. They are must pick, and I'm going to bring them in the BTR. I don't want to fly them in. It's too risky. Even though this might be interesting, but I think it's just too risky. How fast is this? 205 kilometers. No, let's go for the safe option. Then we get the Recon helicopter that can fight only against infantry. Still, I think I'm inclined to take it. but it's only one on the card. So that's maybe a bit of a gamble. But we need something to accompany my tanks, actually. What should accompany my tank? I mean, the range here is too bad, but the availability is better. And we keep it in the rear, so let's go for this, actually. Or no, let's go for the motorized Rasvedka in the BMP-1, and this one has good optics. And then this one has actually very good. This one actually has exceptional optics and smoke. Now let's take this for our tanks. And then I think we need a cheap option to cover ground. Now this is unimpressive. The Rasvedka Superior has good availability. The motorized Rasvedka are my choice. They've got good strength. They've got some AT, and we can bring them in the BMP. It will be a bit slow, but you know, I can hold the flank with one of these, at least a bit. So let's take these. Okay, here we go. We still have quite a few points. That's good. So AA. So we get this, which is more against infantry, I think, than against planes. The Eagle are good. The Biryusha is unfortunately radar operated. Range ain't that great. You get 2. The Strela, 8 rockets. Also not the greatest range. And then your longest range is with the OSA. And I think this is a must pick. I mean, this is 5% points we get. But with the availability drops by 2, and we only have 3 slots that we can like easily fill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 of these, because I'm going to want either the Igla or the Strela. And I want something against enemy helicopters just to be safe, so I'm going to take the Igla. And I'm going to not sacrifice 3 of them for just 5% points accuracy. Helicopters. Difficult. But this one has AT capabilities and air to ground, so good mixture. Availability is only 1, but we get 2 cards, so we might bring another one. But let's take a look at the Air Force first. This is, I think, new rocket plane. But from what I know and heard, rocket planes are still not that great. It's a cool looking plane though. MiG-HE bombers, unguided. This field here should really be used for high altitude or low altitude bomber. Doesn't say. Let me actually check war, yes, because I really want to know. War, yes. WARNO. Let me Google. I really want to make an informed decision, and those high altitude bombers have been buffed. So let's go for the MiG-21BIS, the HE variant. It's Polish GDR. Yeah, the Soviet is not yet showing up, but it should be the same, right? And it's a dive bomber. And yeah, the cluster bomber should then be MiG-21BIS cluster. There's a GDR. There's a Soviet variant as well. Not sure why it's not showing up here. Oh no, it's only in second. Okay, so here it is. It's a dive bomber as well. It's a bit a downer. We've got the Su-15TM. Very good ranges here. +2 rockets short range for a cheap price. Then we get this one. ECM is 10%, here it's 20%. 2 at 7775, which is even better. Can also deal with helicopters better. So let's take this as our cheap fighter. We get an AT plane, which can be helpful. It's an SU, so but let's so it's a bit slow. Let's check if it's optics range. Yeah, 3 kilometers range. I think that's quite good. I think it might be helpful to have one of these. And then we have the new shiny MiG-29 913. 4 missiles for short range, 2 missiles for very long range. We're definitely going to take this beast. Now the question is, shall we take another plane? We can afford one more plane. I mean, a cluster bomber is obviously the alternative to this one. There we go. The SU is much slower. Has same ECM, more armor, and can actually do a better job at taking out helicopters as well, in particular with that speed. So let's keep the SU, and I'm inclined to take this as an air spam option, but I think it's not going to be great. But it might be fun. We have 14 slots left. That's a lot. We could take this BMP2 leader to help our tanks. I think that's a viable option. We can also take the Gruzhevoy to get more ammunition. We could also get another snap, but I think getting some supplies in quickly can be helpful. Artillery tab. I'm not inclined to take the Grad, and I think 2 Akatsya should hopefully be enough. We will get another tank. It's obviously going to be one of these that we are going to double that again. Okay. I think more AA might be helpful. Yeah, you show Strela. Strela, because it's not radio and not radar operated. Should we? Then we can actually take the Recon helicopter. And then we've got 2 points left, and we're going to use them. I mean, we could get one more of these. They seem to be helpful. And that might actually be more helpful than even more AA. I think 1 AT plane will suffice. We've got some artillery. We've got good infantry. So I'm actually going to go for this. This will help our pushes, I think, and hope at least. Now, the number of BMP of command vehicles is maybe a bit overkill, 9 commanders. But if I use them to buff my AA as well, I think it's actually okay. Infantry, 39 infantry should be enough, given we've got lots of tanks as well. It obviously might be an option to bring more artillery. We have a lot of ammunition as well. I must not lose these two, and then I should be fine. I mean, I've got lots of supplies to make them count. We can't really do counter battery with just 2, but yeah. Recon is, I think, good now. We've got the cheap option. That's a bit slow. We've got the expensive one. Yeah, this one comes first. Helicopters look good. AA looks okay. Air is a bit lackluster. I mean, 1 HE bomber or this cheap one are kind of a bit interesting. This is slow, 0% ACM, but ECM, but this, yeah, if the enemy has AA, I don't think it's really viable to bring it. Another AA plane might be an option though, instead of the Su-25 even. Yeah, but I think being able to snipe some tanks that are maybe pushing a bit too much forward is kind of a good thing. So this is how I'm going to build it. I'm going to take a screenshot for the for YouTube, and it's obviously going to be the MiG-29 9.13. Well, not that obviously, because the tank is pretty damn cool as well. But let's go for this one. Let's call this PD second. So, motorized, right? Second motor Strelky. Yeah, motorized rifle. Second, let's call it second guards. It's a second guards motorized. And yeah, that's going to be it. Thanks a lot for watching. Until then, bye for now.